This tutorial is going to pick up where lab 3.7 left off. That was the random bugs lab. So you should have already have completed that before going on to this stage. And what's going to be necessary here is that you understand what the methods did in that first lab, the can move, the move, and the turn. The other thing that I think is critical to understand is that the turn method in particular turns the bug 45 degrees to the right without changing its location. So keep that in mind as we move forward here. The other thing that we're going to be doing is changing the shape that the bug makes. So in the box bug runner, it made basically squares. So we needed to know the length of each side and how many steps the bug needed to take in order to make a side, and then turn and then make another side, turn and make another side, turn and make another side, make a complete box. So let's run that program one time. Here I already have it loaded up, so I'm going to click play. And just to peek at the code here, we have two bugs, one of which is going to make a box the size of 3, and then the other one is the size of 6. So let's follow the red one along because it's going to be faster. So we'll step 1, 2, 3, turn, and it's turning at a 90-degree angle, so that must have been 2 turns. And then 1, 2, 3, and then it's going to turn again, so turn, and then 1, 2, 3, and then another turn, and it completes its circle here, or its complete square. So if I were to speed this up, the two bugs here are going to move in that pattern continuously. Okay, I'll go ahead and stop that. And then we're going to move forward with our exercises. So the next thing it's going to ask you is, do you understand all of that? So you should take a look at these questions and see if you really understand what it's asking you here. So let's test those skills by trying to write the circle bug and the spiral bug. So exercise number 1 says write a class circle bug that is identical to box bug, except that in the act method, the turn method is called once instead of twice. How is its behavior different from box bug? So let's start there. I'm going to go to the box bug runner and the box bug, and I'm basically going to copy this code. So let me go ahead and I'm going to push Control A and Control C to copy it. I can then close it, and then I want to create a new class. This new class I'm going to call circle bug, and click Finish. I'm going to take everything out. I'm going to paste in this new code here, but I'm going to rename a few things. For instance, the class header is going to be circle bug now. I'm going to copy this little piece of code and put it here as well. And I believe that will get us all set up. And then it says that the turn methods within the act, or the turn, here's the act method. We only really need to have it turn once, because by having it turn twice in the box bug runner, that created the 90-degree angles. We don't want 90-degree angles in a circle, so we're going to take one of them out. And that's really the only adjustment we need to make, so I'm going to go ahead and save it right now. And then over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just copy all of this code. So I'm highlighting it, I pushed Control A and then Control C. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new class. So File, New, Class, and I'm going to call this Circle Bug Runner, and then click Finish. I'm going to take everything out, paste in what was previously the box bug runner, and I'm just going to change this to spiral. So now my class header and my file name match. And then the next thing, or I'm not on spiral, I'm on circle. So circle bug runner, now they match. And I'm going to take out these instances right here. And I'm not making a box, I'm making a circle, so I'll keep a little bit of the text there, but change it to circle. We can keep the instance named Bob, and make Bob a new instance of the circle bug class. And just so we can make a smaller circle, I'm going to make a size of 1. So basically, on every step, it's turning at a 45-degree angle and then going another step and repeating. So I'm going to go ahead and take out Alice because Alice doesn't exist anymore. And the next thing that we have here is a red squiggly line. Oh, I misspelled circle. All right, so C-I-R-C-L-E. All right, now it's correct. All right, and let's go ahead and put this on the side of the screen. So that's going to move this to the coordinates of 5, 0. We should be okay. So let me go ahead and push play just so we can step through it. All right, so take a step, turn, take a step, turn, take a step, turn, take a step, turn, and keep repeating in the circle pattern. So now I'm going to move this slider up to fast and run it, and you can see it moves in a circle. I can do the same thing by making it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make it 3, move it down a little bit so it fits inside of our current box, and then push play. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this up to fast as well, and it should move around the whole screen. So 3 steps, turn, 3 steps, turn in a circle. All right, so that's the circle bug runner, and that was exercise number 1. Now, exercise number 2 is going to be write a class spiral bug that drops flowers in a spiral pattern. Hint, imitate box bug, but adjust the side length when the bug turns. You may want to change the world to an unbounded grid to see the spiral pattern more clearly. So I'll show you how to do this as well, but let's make the spiral pattern first. So let's go over here, and we're going to keep reusing this stuff. So let me go ahead and close that. I'm going to reuse the box bug and reuse the box bug runner Java. So let me start with, I'm going to start with box bug. And I can Control A to select everything, Control C to copy it, click File, New, Class. This one's going to be called Spiral Bug, and finish. I'm going to wipe out what's in there, just select it, delete it, put in the new stuff, and call this class Spiral Bug, which extends bug. So that means I got to change this one as well. Okay, and they're telling you in the instructions here to imitate box bug, but adjust the side length when the bug turns. That's really easy. So let me show you what they're talking about here. So when the bug is moving along here, every time it turns at a 90-degree angle, we want to do 1 less. So I'm going to just go down here and say side length, actually it's a capital L, length, and then to decrement we just put in 2 minuses and then a semicolon. So that means side length -1. So every time it writes one of those lengths, it's going to just continuously get shorter until we get to the middle of the spiral. And then we need to set up, I'm going to save this, I'm going to set up a spiral bug runner, basically the same as box bug runner. So I'm going to click copy all of this stuff. I can close these two now, and then make a new class. It's going to be called Spiral Bug Runner. Click Finish, and I'm going to delete everything in it, paste in what was Box Bug Runner, and then I'm going to make a Spiral Bug Runner. Alright, let me take out the box instances, and I'm going to take out box and call it Spiral Bug. And keep its name as Bob. Spiral Bug. We're going to make a much bigger spiral because 3 is, it's going to be tiny. So we'll make one that's 20 to start, and Alice doesn't exist, so I got to take out that line too. And then we'll move it down to like the 10th row, and then the 0 column. So we're going to add Bob here to the stage, and that ought to do it, except for one thing, and that is they also said here that you'd want to change the world to an unbounded grid so you can see it more clearly. That basically means that we can move around the coordinates of the grid. So to do that, let me go back to the code here. We're gonna have to import some new stuff. So that's going to be import info dot gridworld dot grid dot location. Oh, I already have that. Grid dot star. All right, so if I forgot my semicolon. All right, and now down here where I am setting up the world, I can say world dot set grid new unbounded grid, parentheses, close it out. Alright, so when I push play this time, you can see that now I have these sliders that will slide me back and forth horizontally and vertically. So now we can see it a little bit better. I can resize it. Alright, let me go ahead and we'll step through this to start. Alright, so the first one, I think we made it like 20. Alright, so it made a side length of 20, and then it should be decrementing at this point. So every time it turns, matter of fact, I'm going to speed this up and just hit run. It's just it's -1 for every length all the way around until we get to the middle. So there we go. There's our spiral bug runner. Now what I'd like to do is challenge you by having you make this Z bug yourself. So I'm not going to produce a video on this. This should be pretty easy. We're talking about going a few steps, turning, and try to figure out how much. I mean, these are intervals of 45, so how much do you want to turn here, and then how much do we need to turn back to create the Z? And then it should stop when it hits the end. So go ahead and read through this and try to create that on your own.